Anyway, good morning.
No, it's afternoon.
It's afternoon already. Anyway, hello and welcome back to...
Hi there.
Hi there, yeah, hello. Hello and welcome back to our second episode of Film Focus, or weekly. If I could speak, I could do the show.
Slow down, take it one step at a time.
This is Anthony, my guidance counsellor.
Anthony Squire, this is Fred Black.
His patient. And this week we're looking at a couple more films. Well, this episode we're looking at a couple more films that we've been watching the week, the newest DVD releases and stuff.
Yeah.
Along with some trailers that are going to be out in cinemas pretty soon, unfortunately for some of them. We'll get to...
put that to one side.
Is that this episode? Actually, no, this episode we got quite a good selection of trailers. It's next episode that
they're still on the way. We can't escape.
They're still on the way, yeah. There'll be like an hour's time we'll have to talk about them. Which we're not looking forward to.
But yeah.
But putting that aside, we've got our first film of the week, which is The Change Up. We should start off with The Change Up, which is another one of those films that's a brilliant comedy and you'll laugh out loud every single time you see it.
I wouldn't say that.
I really wouldn't say that. It is without a doubt the worst film I've seen this year so far.
Worst film?
Well, yeah. Score-wise, I've given it. It's definitely the worst film I've seen this year so far. And we've only done 2 episodes, but
you didn't like it that much.
I really did not like it at all.
Sorry, the story. It's
basically
another
story of the film. Yeah,
it's just another body swap. You know, two mates switch bodies. They're urinating in a fountain, and they say they wish they could have each other's lives.
Yeah, one of them's like a playboy guy who he's an actor but stars in suggestible movies, and the other one's like a family man, and they just wish they could have each other's lives while, let's say, pissing in a fountain, and they swap bodies, and hilarity ensues.
I wouldn't say well. It has its funny moments.
They are very few and far between.
But the trouble is, it was quite crude. It made me cringe in parts. I mean, there's one scene where you see this woman just sitting on the toilet taking a dump, and
luckily you don't.
You don't see
the dump. Obviously.
You don't see the dump, obviously. But
which I wouldn't put it past them one day to put like that sort of stuff in a movie and just say, yeah, it's comedy. No, it's not. It's just it's someone. You're showing us shit. Literally, you're showing us shit.
There are some cringeworthy moments in it. I mean, the pregnant woman, and
that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. I mean, there are some bits they don't show you in all the trailers, and I saw quite a few trailers for this when it was like on the build up to being released in the cinema and DVD, and not once did I see anything about that. You know, was it Tatiana? Her name is, and not once did I see it. So when it came on, I was completely surprised and utterly mortified. But it's the thing that just did it for me is the first 5 minutes of this film were just so crude and probably scary to watch, I would say.
Scary?
Well, the fact of my job probably made it a bit more kind of horrendous for me, I think. But I work in a nursery, just for those who don't know. I work in a nursery with little kids, and the first scene is like Jason Bateman and his life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Jason Bateman and his family man life. And he goes into his room goes into the baby's room to deal with his 2 screaming twins. One of them's just sat there crying, fair enough.
Oh, the other one is just continuously headbutting.
He's got hold of the end of the cot and he's repeatedly bashing his head against the end of the cot. And you get like a full like close-up view of it as well, like full front-on view. And I was terrified. I was like walking, like, why would you show that? That's not funny. And maybe it's my job that makes it slightly less funny because I deal with babies and young kids on a day-to-day basis. But
any kids where you work hit their heads?
No, we've had nothing nothing near as severe as that. But
what do they usually do?
The usual stuff. The usual, but just suffice to say what the kids do. I can't really say, obviously, because that would be breaching stuff and policies and stuff like that, so I can't say anything more about my work, but suffice to say they don't do anything that bad. But to see something that bad put onto film in a comedy and you to think it's funny...
I think it's just funny more for effect.
I don't know. with anything for this film, there wasn't anything that was meant to be shocking, was there? There wasn't anything. Everything was meant to be done for a laugh, wasn't it? You're meant to try and get a laugh out of the audience.
Yeah, but in short, I can sum the film up as it was funny in parts. It drags on though. It's
there's also
some crude moments. We've just described a couple of them.
Well, that whole scene just
the comedy
set me off
moments.
the movie.
They're okay, but otherwise it just drags on. It's longer than it should be. We had this chat. We've seen it before. Stuff like.
Well, you've got stuff like Freaky Friday, 17 again,
Yeah.
13 going on 30. It's the same kind of body swapping, or a change of body thing that makes the lead character go, "Oh my god, this is crazy," and then they learn some important life lesson out of it, and
you have a mega happy moment.
you end up bashing your head against a brick wall out of sheer boredom, which is almost what I decided to do.
I'd say it's at least worth watching once. I'm not going to watch it again, but
Oh no,
it wasn't awful enough for me to say don't watch it at all.
For me, it was. I
give these films a chance.
I gave it a chance. I've walked away from films before. I've walked away from lots of films before, but this film I did not walk away from. I watched it all the way through. I watched the unrated version because that's apparently meant to be, the stuff too rude for cinemas, and frankly they should have kept it out of the editing
extra,
room.
5 minutes?
Yeah, like 5 minutes. It's like there's like theatrical running time is like 1 hour 48, and then the uncut running time is like 1 hour 53. And it's like, wee, big deal. Mind you find it hard to think what they didn't show in the cinemas. I mean, probably.
I imagine the women on the toilets in there. I imagine.
No, I think because I'm pretty sure I've seen that on the trailers. I'm pretty sure I've seen the her Jason Bateman's wife going for a dump on the toilet. I'm pretty sure I've seen that on.
Sorry,
on
I hope
the
no one's
trailers.
eating anything.
Yeah, if you were eating anything, we apologise. Actually, no, we don't. We're warning you about a really horrible film.
I wouldn't say it was a horrible film. It was just a badly done film. It's been done too many times before. It didn't really know when to stop.
Oh, no, it didn't. And this is the guy who wrote The Hangover as well.
Yeah, that's what surprised me actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he directed it but this, The Hangover was really funny. It was a really funny comedy and really original, and now for this guy to come out with something like this is just...
This wasn't original though. Like
No.
I said, it's all been done before, and
it was just bad.
What score did you give it out of 10?
You already know this. I know why you're asking me, and you can see it over there on my score sheet. I gave it a solitary 1 out of 10.
I need my glasses. I thought it was a 7.
Yeah, you'd be fucking lucky. I gave it a 1 out of 10. I really did not like it at all. It was probably, as I said, the worst film I've seen all yet, and that whole... It's pretty much summed up by the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just that Jason Bateman sequence of, him changing his babies, and he gets one of them on the nappy mat and drops the nappies.
One scene you told me about earlier, was it the pooping and the...
Yeah, and the baby decides to... there's no nice way to say it, is there? There's fecal matter in the mouth, I guess.
Yeah.
It's essentially what happens, and... Yeah, that's my... it's probably the only time, the only film... This week that I just backed away from the screen from, just going, that's horrible, and people are meant to find this fun. I might be being
funny. It was
outlandish or just
it's all been done before.
I was just completely mortified by it, really, and I just didn't find it funny. The funniest things in it were like when Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman, who actually do the best, they do the best they can
with the script they had. I was generous. I gave it. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
So
the funny
5-point change from me.
Yes, it did drag on, but if you haven't seen the previous films, you might enjoy this one more. Previous body swapping films, you might enjoy this one more. But at the same time, it does drag on. But the funny moments, they are funny.
Yeah, but the funniest things are like when Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman, as I was saying, they just have a casual dialogue in between each other.
Yeah.
And they're not saying anything like overly crude or insulting to each other. They're just kind of having a bit of banter, I guess, is what the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And that's some of it's quite cleverly written. And if they'd just done the entire film like that, had that cleverly written kind of snappy, witty dialogue, I think that would have made a bit of a better film.
It probably would have.
And just not go for the extreme, pooping in the mouth comedy.
I haven't seen that one before.
No. Well, actually, I don't think I have seen that before on film. Of things I've seen on film, I've seen a lot, but
you got to put it behind you.
Yes, that's a terrible film right there. I mean, I think you're being very generous with that one. With your score of 6.
Really? 6. The actors did the best they could with a bad script. I'm just repeating myself now. There were some funny moments in it. Yes, it is crude in parts, but I think it's worth watching at least once.
No, it's not. Well, for me, no. Him, well, you have your own views on it. There's just nothing really.
Well, nothing really.
Out. There's no heart kind of care about it. It was just let's knock out another comedy. And see how it does, and it really did not work well. It's the film industry, I guess, yes, but it really didn't work at all for me. And to be honest, I think this was the first film I watched of the week.
Yeah.
And I watched it pretty much. No, I watched our next one, the Apollo 18, which is the next one we're gonna do. I watched that first in the morning, and then I came back from my babysitting stuff and watched the Change Up, and I was not looking forward to the other 2 films of the week. I was like, if this is the staple mark, the benchmark of what we're going to be watching this week, it's really not looking good.
Yeah,
it was really not looking good at all. But yes, that's our review of the Change Up, which is 1 out of 10 from me.
6 out of 10 for me.
You generous bastard.
No, you just gotta. I know a bad film when I see it, and
this was a bad film.
No, Apollo 18 was a bad film, but we'll come on to that one.
We'll come on to that in a minute. Next, we have our trailer section, and we're going to tell you, because we didn't tell you last episode where we found all these trailers. I mean, we mainly look at 2 websites for all of these.
Yeah.
We look at Apple.com, so the iTunes movie trailer website, and Empire.com, Empire Magazine. Well, it's EmpireOnline.com is the actual website, I think. But they're a big movie magazine in the UK, and their newsfeed just pops up trailers every so now and again. So we'll tell you, if you can't find it on Apple, it'll be on Empire, or pretty much all of them will pop up on YouTube at some point, unless you find a fake trailer that Rick rolls you or something. Have you seen? Did we search up?
Oh, Superman.
There was the new Superman Man of Steel trailer we were looking at the other week.
Parts from the Superman Returns.
Yeah, it was basically a Superman Returns trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just, with Star Trek, the new Star Trek film, the music from that put over it.
Yeah.
And the title sequence from it, put up over it. And that was it was a really badly made fake trailer, but you can find loads of those, but hopefully you won't. So we're going to go into our trailers now. The first being Windfall.
Windfall!
Which was a pretty cheesy documentary idea. It was about how wind turbines in America
have affected a local community.
Yeah, it was at town of Meredith or something like that. And it was basically all their farms had gone, gone bye-bye, essentially. Gone bye-bye.
It's just the dramatic background music, the corny speeches. I know it's a documentary, but in terms of cheesiness, I give it a 9 out of 10.
If they don't put the music, if they kind of tone the music down a little bit, I can actually see it being quite an interesting documentary, because the kind of greed and kind of conspiracy thing behind all the wind turbines looked quite interesting. But it was just overridden by this cheesy music.
Our lives were good until the wind farms came.
Yeah, as I said, they could have just put text, like that Saints and Soldiers trailer we talked about, in our pilot episodes. They could have just put just cheesy stuff like that over it, and we would.
They should have had some Barbra Streisand music on in the background.
Oh,
Shattered pictures of the smiles left behind, memories of the way things were.
How do you know the word? I don't know any words to Barbra Streisand music.
I know those words because was it Naked Gun 2, where the woman's singing it in the shower?
It's a long time since I've seen those Naked Gun films, and they're classic films, so go watch them immediately. They're brilliant. But I can't remember any Barbra Streisand. And next time I watch them, I'm gonna hear that line and go "Damn you, Anthony!"
No, it's number 2. I think it's roughly about
Oh, you're going to give me a timing now, aren't you? You're going to give me an exact time, aren't you? Like 54 minutes.
I think it's about 57 minutes into the
film.
Oh
my god, it was close as well.
I don't know that. I'm only guessing.
Yes. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next film, our next trailer, The Front Line, which was the Korean War film, like World War. Oh no, it's not World War. It was like 1953. It's set in, and it's like the divide between North and South Korea. Just about some troops on the front line.
This trailer looked good. It wasn't like the usual Hollywood ones where you had the really dramatic background and someone going no.
It was getting very close to doing that though, wasn't it? And right at the end, there's the like a Korean soldier that throws down a grenade or something, and he just sees it. He's like granada, and then there's an explosion, and there should have been some music over it, but there wasn't.
But on the plus side, there's no Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, Ben Affleck's just out the picture. Hey, we won't let you into Korea. Fuck off.
There's no Ben Affleck in this one, so don't worry about that.
And it's actually been, and we were watching the trailer, I noticed it had been put into this year's Oscars for best foreign picture. Yeah, it's Korea's entry into the Oscar race for best foreign picture. So, it can't be that bad, really. Yeah, well, you would say that, but
some Oscar nominations you do have to question.
I remember watching a film called Crash, which was released a couple of years ago.
That was quite good.
See, I hated it. It was like about intertwining lives in Los Angeles, and I hated it. And it was like the best picture winner of that year, Oscar Best Picture winner.
I wouldn't have said it was that good.
Exactly. But I actually hated it. It was so like annoyingly racist in parts. I was just kind of at the end of it. I was just like gobsmacked by how bad it was. But we digress. The front line looked pretty good.
It looked
serious enough.
It looked a serious war film. I'm sure there will be slow motion sequences in there, but it's not going to be
it's not.
Touch wood, it won't be the usual Hollywood. One man saves the day.
Yeah. Like Zack Snyder, like films like 300 and Sin City and stuff like that. Is that Zack Snyder? I don't know. No, that's not Zack Snyder.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna get a world of hurt for that one. Sin City is not Zack Snyder. It's Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. Why am I thinking of Watchmen? There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. Watchmen. That's Zack Snyder.
That was okay.
That was okay, but
it was great. But it was.
Our next trailer, if we go on, is probably your favourite one of the week, The Viral Factor, which is
guns, explosions, bad guys.
We've essentially just going to find a trailer that represents the Expendables 2 every week and watch it.
The amount of documentary trailers we had to go through this week.
That's we had like 5 documentaries.
And the one thing they all had in common was the corny background music, but it was good until that day.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah, you got a bit fed up with that after a while, but the Viral Factor looks pretty much just balls out action.
Beautiful.
All the way.
Slow motion sequences.
But not too many, hopefully.
Cars just exploding for no reason. People being shot but being able to run anyway. Oh, it looked beautiful. Whether it will be is another thing.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll see it over here. I mean,
wasn't there a release date on it?
I don't know. I mean, that's Apple.com. I'm pretty sure is like an American-based site. So I don't know. We'll probably go watch it after we finish this episode again. See when we can get our hands on it and have a good old laugh at it. But yeah, that looked pretty good. I was genuinely impressed with it, and just like thinking, this will be a stupid Saturday night.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's like the Expendables. You don't have to think.
No, yeah, Expendables. You never have to think with that film. Next trailer. Next, people. Moonrise Kingdom, which was Wes Anderson, and it was the kind of scout kid who breaks free from his camp and goes on a kind of romantic adventure with this girl he likes.
Bill Murray's cameo was brilliant.
But yeah,
just going outside to cut a tree.
Yeah, he's in pyjama bottoms and topless in pyjama bottoms with a bottle of champagne and an axe. And he goes, "You kids, I'm just going out to cut down a tree. I'll be right back." what? But it's Wes Anderson who's done like The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. He's really, really weird filmmaker. But all his films have like this bizarre charm that you just can't help but like. And
Bizarre charm.
It's like bizarre charm that, you know, they're all completely quirky and surreal.
Yeah.
But you can't help but like them. And, you know, if you haven't seen them, then you don't want to start passing judgment. But
no, I can't pass judgment.
Yeah, but
I mean, this one looked good. I mean, as soon as we heard Bruce Willis's voice in the trailer, there had to be an explosion, and a couple of seconds later there was an explosion.
But fireworks! This wasn't really an explosion.
Yeah, coming out the car, and the car just...
If you're sold on a trailer if it has an explosion in it, aren't you? That's it. Nothing more.
Not all the time, but...
Yes, all the time. If it has an explosion...
Yeah, I suppose
it's like, this trailer is okay. Like a car explodes. It's brilliant! I love it all!
Yeah, means action.
It means action, yeah. But I have a good feeling about this film, actually. I think it's going to be a suitable, suitable crowd pleaser.
Yeah, this one looks good.
Definitely. We are agreed? Yes,
yeah.
Good. And the next one was quite an interesting one, Detachment.
What's Detachment?
Detachment was Adrian Brody as a substitute secondary school teacher, or secondary school teacher.
Yeah.
Which what it looks like, high school teacher if you're in America.
It looked like a drama.
Yeah, big drama.
Being a teacher who's had problems. Well, wouldn't be a film about that, but...
And he looks like he's trying to... Well, not like he's trying to solve all their other problems, but the class becomes so curious about who he is.
Yeah.
Like, some of the students just start, like, following him around after school and, like, saying, like, oh, you always look so sad.
Oh, that's right. Everyone is always taking photos of him.
Yeah, and it's... it looked very, very deep. Very kind of meaningful kind of film.
I mean, Adrian Brody's done some good stuff.
He has done some good stuff.
The Jacket.
Yeah, I've seen The Jacket. I mean, I've only seen him in kind of like big blockbuster things, I guess. I mean, I saw him in like King Kong.
Oh yeah, King Kong.
Predators.
Both Predators, is that good?
It's all right, but it's probably nothing can beat Arnie and the original Predator is just brilliant. But in terms of like a Predator film, it's miles better than Predator 2. It just falls short of Predator 1. But yeah, Adrian Brody looks like he's giving it 100% in this one, and
yeah,
he's I would definitely go and see this. Actually,
I'd like to see it. I'm curious about it. It didn't give too much away in the trailer.
No, it didn't.
Which to me is a good trailer.
Yeah, I mean, because if there's, especially for like films like horror films. I mean, this one isn't a horror film, but for films, especially horror films, they can often give too much away, and they give away like the big scares and the big plot twists and stuff. I mean, I always remember a trailer for Quarantine, which is the American remake of Record, that Spanish horror film I keep telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
But in the trailer for Quarantine, they actually show the final shot of the film in it.
Oh.
And it's just like, you've ruined the film. You've ruined the film right there. But this one doesn't do that. This one just keeps... It kept me intrigued, and now I just want to go and see it when it comes out in cinemas. Which doesn't happen with a lot of films nowadays. I don't think.
Too formulaic, but yeah. Overall, these 5 trailers were okay.
Yeah, these trailers were fine. Yeah,
and that brings us on to the next film, Apollo 18.
Can we just skip this review? I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to
warn people.
Well, it's been out in the cinemas and now it's on DVD. Enough people will have seen it. They have been mentally scarred by Apollo 18.
Now the back.
The found footage documentary thing.
Oh, yes. You have to remember, this is official footage.
This is official footage of the secret Apollo 18 mission, because in real life, and it is real life, there never was an Apollo 18 mission. No. There are only 17 Apollo missions, and we never went back to the moon. And apparently, it's because of this.
Now, it's documentary style film.
And like found footage like Blair Witch and Troll Hunter, which we watched last week.
Yeah,
that sort of style.
I mean, it tries to be horror, but it's not horror.
No,
it's just a very badly paced. Nothing happens for a bit, and then suddenly something happens, then something else happens, and then just plods along. And it's not even worthy enough to be called a B movie.
Oh yeah, there's no one like famous in it. There's not even like a famous cameo from anyone in it. I don't know. It's like and as you were saying about the pacing, I mean, I know everything is meant to move slowly in space because of like reduced gravity. That doesn't mean you have to make the pacing very, very slow. And it was like an hour and 45 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't that, it felt like it. It sure as hell felt like it was 2 hours. Yeah.
I'd advise you don't watch this film.
Oh God, no. I mean, I don't want to give the twist away either, but you feel like you should warn people about it because it is one of the horror films nowadays like to give a twist, don't they? They like to. I mean, ever since M. Night Shyamalan and The Sixth Sense, horror films have just figured out that a twist is great.
Yeah.
Some of them can be really good,
but this one really failed.
We don't, and I don't think
acting.
I don't think we should say what the twist is. I'm really tempted to say what it is, but I really don't think we should.
No, we shouldn't because you don't really want to know. You don't really want to watch this film.
And that was the most annoying thing about it. The twist was so horrendously bad and just dragged the film down like several thousand miles.
It couldn't drag it down any more than it already
I actually thought it was getting alright. Like the build-up was okay. Like, and every like sort of hints you saw at some of the, what could be on the moon causing problems for them. That was intriguing. And the first thing you saw of it, when it's inside a suit, and I'm sure you've seen like pictures of, trailers of that, and it's like, oh, it's inside my suit, there's something in my suit. And that sequence was, and you get a little reveal of what might be attacking them and what might be causing problems with them, and it's like, okay, I'll watch it till the end now. And you really regret doing that.
I watched it to the end because I had to.
Yeah, same here. We have to watch all these films to the end, no matter how much we don't like them.
I can't stress enough, don't watch it.
No, yeah.
And that's not some cunning ploy to get you to watch it. It's a genuine, do yourself a favour, there's better films to watch.
Yeah, and again, this will probably be in my worst films of this year already. We're into the second week of the show, and I've already got 2 films that will most likely make it into my worst films of the year list. I gave it a 2 out of 10.
I gave it a 2 as well.
It's slightly for the first half of it, I was just slightly interested. I was like, the scares non-existent, but in terms of what they did with the script and all the footage looked authentic. They made it look like it was shot in the 70s and stuff. Well, yeah, but they made it look kind of grainy and it was shot on old style camcorders and stuff like that. And it looked good, but the rest of it was just a piece of shit.
I gave it a 2, and I was generous in giving it a 2.
Oh yeah, I think maybe I was a little bit as well. I feel like giving a film a 0 out of 10 is probably just the bottom of the barrel stuff. But
dramatic effect.
If any of these films deserve 0 out of 2,
0 out of 10, it's this one. But
0 out of 10, yeah.
At the same time, I'm sure they had their reasons for doing this film.
No, can't have been any good reasons.
Well, no, putting that to one side. It wasn't. Like I said, it's not even worthy enough to be called a B movie.
It was ridiculously bad. I can't ever think what was it was just loads of jump scares like you've seen millions of times before. There was nothing interesting in the scares. It was just basically lots of quiet moments and then boo. Essentially, just it's the equivalent of someone standing behind you and going boo every 10 minutes. And you're just like, fuck off. I don't want... That's not scary.
Was bad...
It makes you jump up in your seat, and it makes you go, ooh. But on the plus side of it... Well, it does for me, because I scare very easily. I do scare very easily. So, I've jumped at, children's films that have a little bit of a, it's ridiculous. I scare that easily. I've jumped to, children's films that have a little bit of a blur moment in it. I've just, jumped up in my seat. And it makes me do that, but... That's not scary. I don't I don't live in fear of the next one coming up. I just
What kids' films do you watch?
So actually, the best one I've seen is The Hole in 3D, which was Joe Dante, and it's essentially the equivalent of a kid's Asian horror film.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, if you took The Grudge and The Ring and stuff like that, and made a kid's version of it. And it's pretty much the introduction to kids horror, and it's very well done. I was seriously impressed by it. 3D, I didn't watch it in 3D, but 3D's a crock of shit. Don't care about 3D. But
that brings us to the end of the show.
Well, I guess so, but I think we should carry on talking about these terrible films because
I think they've got our point.
Oh god, yeah, they got their point. Don't watch them. I mean, would you say they are the worst films you've seen this year so far?
Like, change up. I thought it's worth watching at least once.
I wouldn't even say that.
Apollo 18 is just, it's pathetically pathetic, and I wouldn't.
I love that. Pathetically pathetic. Double bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I've wasted an hour and 45 minutes of my life watching that.
It feels like you have. I'm pretty sure the film is not that long. It's probably something like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. But it feels like 2.5 hours. You just sat there going, get on with it. And when it does, you want to shoot yourself in the head because you've just watched a piece of shit.
I wouldn't take it that far.
I would. It was that bad. Both the films this week were that bad.
No, change up. Yes, it did have bad moments in it, but it...
Oh.
I'll let you decide for yourselves.
Yeah, well, if you're brave enough to watch those films, I guess. I can't see anyone be... Well, there are plenty of people that are brave enough to watch them, I guess, but probably some people out there that will like them as well.
No, not Apollo 18.
No,
Apollo 18, what do you do? You've got to justify it.
You can't just... Even the directors just sat there watching it on DVD going, why the fuck did I do this? Where's my agent? Why the hell did I do this movie?
Please, forgive me. But that brings us to the end of the show.
Or the end of part 1, yes it does. It brings us to the end of part 1. So thank you for watching. Please don't watch any of the movies we've mentioned today. I mean, the trailers aren't even out yet, so, maybe give those some consideration. But the films we've reviewed...
If you feel like watching The Change Up, just out of curiosity, it's worth watching once.
No.
But Apollo 18...
Yeah.
Have a word with the store manager, ask him to get rid of the copies of it.
Yeah, burn them all.
Yeah. But,
on that
next show.
Yeah, we will see you in the next show.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you later, guys. Bye. Take care.